Welcome to this online training for expenditure verification on cross-border cooperation project. So far, we have managed to prepare the project, establish good internal monitoring system, and discuss financial management issues. Your project is on a good track. Regular updates on the project progress are required by programs. Usually, these updates happen in the form of progress report with both content-related and financial information. Depending on the program requirements, progress report can be accompanied with a payment claim. Each beneficiary prepares its own financial report and asks an independent professional to check the spending. In program language, this is called expenditure verification. As the next step, based on the report of every partner, the lead beneficiary prepares a consolidated project progress report to be submitted to the program authorities. This expenditure verification process is needed so that the program can be sure that the financial information presented is reliable and ready for further review. Depending on the country of the beneficiaries, expenditure will be verified either by public officers or by private auditors. They both are obliged to follow the procedures set by the program. In the case of a system with public officers, usually there is no need for a legal contract between you and the officer. On the other hand, if your country uses private auditors, you have to select and contract the auditor. The rules of selecting and contracting may vary. For example, in some countries there is a list of accepted auditors and you are obliged to select an auditor from that list. Please check which is the situation for your country in the program documents. How to plan the work? It is recommended that each beneficiary signs the contract with the auditor as close as possible to the start of implementation of the project. In any case, as soon as the first reporting period comes to an end, the beneficiaries should provide all the necessary information for the expenditure verification. Let's see how our partners, Anna, Boris, and Carla, are doing.
Hi, Anna and Boris. The end of the reporting period is coming up soon, and we should start creating the files with the information and documentation for the auditors. Let's plan our work so that I have all the necessary information from you to submit the project report to the program as soon as possible. The sooner we deliver the files to the auditors, the sooner they can start the work.
Hi Carla, the procurement of our auditor is nearly done. We have already talked about the necessary documents.
Hi, everything is going well.
The requirement for the project costs to be real, accurately recorded, and eligible is mandatory for the project beneficiaries. The auditor must verify whether these principles are observed and whether appropriate accounting records, document keeping are ensured. The auditor also has an obligation to report on the costs verified, including the findings on ineligible expenses if the rules are not followed.
Hi, how are you? I wanted to talk with you about the arrangements for the verification. In order to do that, I will need access to the grant contract, to your financial documents, evidence of the project activities, as well as access to the accounting records, among others. Just so you know in advance, in principle, I should visit you at least once in the lifetime of the project for the on-the-spot verification. I will have to check the original documents, access your accounting, and inspect the equipment purchased. But first, let's see how the document verification goes.
Hi Carla, how are you? Unfortunately, I have some not so good news. Our procurement of an auditor is a bit late, but we should be able to finalize the contract in a week or so, before the end of the reporting period.
Well, it is not the best scenario, but if you manage to sign the contract before the end of the reporting period, it should be okay. Anyway, the procurement of the auditor was actually planned very early in the project. It's good that we avoided problems this time, but please, let's try to stick to the agreed plan for future procurements.
Dear Boris, Please submit proof of the event organized on 2nd June, such as pictures, the documentation delivered to the participants, the minutes, proceedings, or the signed participant list. Please submit pictures of the equipment purchased, showing the labels with the visibility of the program.
It is very helpful if the beneficiary and the auditor have clear agreements on how the information will be exchanged before and during the expenditure verification. In particular, how the documents will be submitted and how the answers will be provided to the questions of the auditor. The beneficiary should provide the auditor with all the necessary information on time. And on the other hand, the auditor must verify the financial report according to the deadlines set for the expenditure verification.
So, Peter, tell me, have we received from Anna and Boris all the information we need for the consolidated financial report? When do you think it will be ready for verification?
Let me see the documents first.
Dear colleagues, thanks for your reports and documents. The consolidated report has been verified and sent to the program.
The auditor carrying out expenditure verification is the first external filter of your project finances. However, the auditor should not perceive herself as the financial manager of the project, as this is the duty of the project beneficiaries. Therefore, the responsibility of the beneficiary is to follow the rules set by the program, arrange the documents and the reports. And the role of the auditor is to verify how well the beneficiaries observe these rules in the project implementation. Whether you are an auditor or a beneficiary, we hope you found this video tutorial useful. Further supportive documents you will find on our online learning platform.